All right, we're back in here. We're back in the office. This is where it all goes down right here as far as any of the office things that we do. As you can see here, I've already got Roger Clemens as his mechanics with a bullpen session that he is doing. I've got my young man over here to the right that I'm not going to identify because for confidentiality purposes. But anyway, he is sitting there, and we have watched his video and we have explained some things to him that he needs to look at and be aware of, so he'll start to feel it in his mechanics. And when you start to feel it, you'll obviously be on the path for correction and making those adjustments that you need to make. This is one of the most crucial parts that a coach can use. I don't think it's done enough, simply because they just don't take time to do it. But coaches need to videotape and have this one-on-one session using this technology, even if it's just a PC and a video camera, and pulling up a major league picture that's similar. Even if it's something simple as that, it goes a long ways in helping a kid out. So what we're going to do is, first of all, you notice Roger Clemens here in his bullpen. He gets a good high leg kick. That's what we want to have to generate power. Everything's about generating power when you're throwing. So he gets a good high leg kick here, and he stays upright for the most part. That's one thing me and the young man were working on, is he was leaning back some. It looks from this angle that he might be leaning back, but really he's really over his center of gravity where he needs to be. The next angle is Clemens. Here he's coming out of what we call the load. He's coming into the power position right here, and you can see that he's leading towards home plate with his front shoulder and his front leg are both going towards home plate, and the ball is down here with the fingers pointed towards second where they need to be. Biggest thing about this position is that he stays closed in this angle, where a lot of amateur players would be already starting to open. You would see more of their shoulder. You would be able to read their letters more so than you would be with Clemens. But he is nice and tight and tucked like he needs to be. And as he starts to come out of that, he is going to wind up in a very good throwing position in slow motion. As you see here, this is where he's throwing from. This has the generation of power that's broken down, started with the load, got to the right position coming out of the load. Now he's in the power position. You can see how much torque that he's generating from his front side. You can see how much power, if you can really visualize there, how much he's really got. His foot is not yet left the rubber, or the pitcher's mound. We call it the rubber. And his finger, it's hard to see here, but his fingers are still pointing towards second base. That is huge, because to get any wrist pop, which is a big factor in baseball pitching, you need to be, your wrists need to be pointing towards second base. Fingers pointed towards second base before your foot leaves the pitching mound, as Roger Clemens has done here. His front foot, his elbow is still in line, as you can see there, and he's getting ready to generate a looks like a fastball. And I don't know how many people know about Roger Clemens, but he throws anywhere. When he used to pitch, he threw anywhere from 95, 98, threw one of the hardest fastballs at that time. And but you can see that his body. I can go back and I'm showing my young man the three phases that him and I were working on, and these are some of the same phases that Roger Clemens. I was able to pull up a clip using the technology here. of how Roger Clemens actually does it in 3 different angles. And I think the young man sees what I'm talking about in the fact that the ball is still facing second base if he was actually on a game field before his foot leaves the rubber, and that is huge in generating, like I said, wrist pop when you finish the follow through. You go through the follow through, you can see how flexible the arm is. The one thing, this is how we can check flexibility other than actually getting in a training room doing flexibility test. We can just see the arm. You can see how bent the arm is back. It is straight back. The ball is almost up under his fingers. That right there, that's how he generates the extra miles per hour. His arm is so flexible right there. That's one thing that a pitcher has to be, is flexible. You can, and most of the amateur arms will be an angle right in here, and that's something that we have to work on as we continue to incorporate our strength and conditioning program, and be aware of that we have to make sure our pitchers' arms are flexible.